All right, everybody, welcome back to the show. Our first guest tonight is a New England Patriots historian who knows absolutely everything there is to know about the team, including the exact day 5 years ago Tom Brady last got a haircut. His book, entitled Total Patriots, is the definitive encyclopedia on the team. Please welcome to Wicked Late, Bob Hyldburg. Bob, how you doing, sir?
Excellent. How are you?
I'm fine. Thank you very much for being here.
Glad to be here.
So many questions. Really? I doubt that.
Absolutely.
So few of the guests.
Rhode Island? Come on.
All right. Well, I have many questions about the definitive encyclopedia of Total Patriots, but yes. I also have many questions about you, how you kind of became a Patriots historian, how you kind of got started in this whole chronicling thing that it is you do. So, first of all, where are you originally from?
I was born in Brockton, Massachusetts, lived and went to school at Bridgewater Rainham, and ended up at Northeastern University in Boston. And now I'm up in the North Shore in Woburn, Massachusetts. But I really started, I was a frustrated fan. I wanted to look some information up and couldn't find it. That's really what this whole thing started with.
I was going to say, you're of course a lifelong Pats fan, and so
Absolutely.
That's how this thing kind of snowballed into what became the definitive encyclopedia on the team. And so how did it work? Did you just start as you became older and into adulthood, just started researching, chronicling past events, past seasons and players of the team? How did it happen?
Not really, no. I worked for Parker Brothers at one time, and they came up with a trivia game, and they made some mistakes in the trivia game, and I noticed that. Marketing said, we're just going to get it out. We don't care that it was a People magazine game.
Right.
And I was a cost analyst for them, and I said, geez, I'm into trivia, and I love sports, and I played football. My dad was my football coach, and midget peewee and all that kind of stuff. And I figured I'd come up with some kind of trivia book, and I started doing some research at the New England Sports Museum.
Right.
Just looking up stuff. Really, that's where it started.
Were you there every day, all day? Did they get tired of you after a while, Bob?
Actually, what I wanted to do initially was to come up with every uniform number of every player. That's how this whole thing started. And I got a media guide, and there was 17 players that not available. And I said, wow. I got to find out who these 17 are, and I ended up finding out all except for one. One guy played in one game in 1961. He was an offensive guard. He showed up about a couple hours before the game. They gave him a uniform, and a couple hours later he was gone, and we have no idea what uniform number. It's the only thing I couldn't find.
Oh, so there should be an asterisk maybe by the title Total Patriots, the definitive guide, maybe? I'm just kidding.
It doesn't exist. The guy played at War Memorial Stadium against the Buffalo Bills.
Wow.
Buffalo has no record of him. I met the guy who was the equipment manager. He says he just showed up. He was an offensive guard. He played a couple plays, and he was gone.
Wow, so we'll let that slide then.
So there's nothing I can do about that.
Bob, had I known that, you might not have been here. No, I'm just kidding. So this project, if you said the book was released, I believe, late 2009?
Opening day of 2009, September 2009.
And it was 15 years worth of work it took you said?
Well, as I was putting it together, players would come in town and do autograph shows like Steve Grogan and Mike Haynes and Russ Francis. And when they came to town, I put together all their stats, all their interceptions, all their touchdowns.
Right.
And the players would get excited about it, and one thing led to another. Gino Cappelletti found out about it, and we started to get a petition going to get him into the Pro Football Hall of Fame, which led me to doing some research to get Andre Tippett into the Hall of Fame. And next thing you know, he gets in, and I get a name for myself that I'm the statistician that kind of put together some of these stats on these guys.
And how was it received by the players whom are featured in this book? Were they cool with this? Did they say, wow, this is a great idea. What a great chronicle that's going to be coming out about the history of this franchise?
Oh, they loved it.
They thought it was cool.
Ronnie Lepet, when I met him, he says, I love all these interceptions of Dan Marino and all that kind of stuff. And he showed it to his kids and his cousins, and they were like, wow, you did that?
Right.
And all his football cards, there's 198 football cards in there, all the way back to 1960.
Awesome. With
Gino Cappelletti and Babe Parilli, all the way up to, Wes Welker and Tom Brady and stuff. So it was kind of a fun thing, more of a player profile kind of thing, but then it involved into this 37 pages of test your knowledge trivia.
Right.
There's all kind of stats and stories.
I was going to say,
did you knows and anecdotes.
Right, there've got to be stats in here that we didn't even know existed, I'm thinking, right?
Yeah, if it happened once in the lifetime of the 800 plays or 800 games that were played, it's in there.
Including the day Brady last got a haircut, am I correct in that? Is that information in there?
Unfortunately not. I don't have that.
Seriously, something's got to be done about this, Bob. It's out of control. Something's got to be done.
No, people love it. My wife loves his haircut.
Oh, Bob, enough about
lack of haircut.
Come on, two guys, well, one guy and half a guy here. We agree something's got to be done between us.
He wants to win it. I mean,
All right.
That's the whole idea.
You can't cut it till they win.
You grow your hair until you win the thing. So that's the whole idea.
Now, being a historian, you obviously can tell us all about I mean, obviously for young people, they think, oh, the Pats are the greatest thing. They've always been the greatest thing. But those of us who sort of came of age and whatnot, I remember when I first got into football, like the late 80s, early 90s, the team was not so good. So I remember those days. And it seems to be that like when the Kraft ownership took over, Bob Kraft really turned things around. I mean, how do you, as a historian of the team, compare, pre-Kraft to post-Kraft? I mean, obviously we know the difference is the winning and whatnot, but what was it about him? What is it? What continues to be about him that really makes a winner? Is it just his dedication? What do you attribute it to?
Well, a lot of it. He's intelligent. He is persistent, and he's bottom line. I mean, it's a business to him,
right?
And he's a tremendous businessman, and he has tremendous leadership. And he really finds when you got a good business, you find the right people to.
Right.
He started with Parcells, and then Drew Bledsoe put us on the map, and and now certainly Tom Brady, a 199th pick, come out of nowhere.
Yeah.
But before then, when I started putting this together, I was telling different people I was writing, and they're like, who cares? They've had 3 good teams in 35 years.
Yeah.
In 95, when I started doing this, and then certainly it hit, and they've hit 3 times, and certainly there's a couple more left, too.
Talk about good timing in there. I mean, because you're putting it together, like you said, the people, oh, well, they stink, and then they became great, and what good timing that was, good fortune.
Well, to some extent. I mean, in 2001, they beat the Rams, I wasn't ready. And then they win again, and my book wasn't done. And then they win again, and then my book wasn't done. And then my book was done, and they lose to the Giants. And the publishers were not doing it now.
Right.
Because they lost. So it eventually came out the 50th anniversary of the team. So the timing, I was ready a couple of years ago to release this, but we needed a winner too.
Cool. Now, do you think, like, as as the team history, obviously with sports, it's nonstop. It's always changing and whatnot. Will there ever be in the future a part 2, the Total Patriots?
Oh, yeah. We printed 12,000 books, so we want to certainly sell the 12,000 and then get the revised, updated edition of the 4th Super Bowl championship, absolutely.
Yeah, which they will be getting, right, Bob? Are you guaranteeing a Super Bowl this year? No.
As close as I can guarantee, yeah.
All right, now I said earlier in the show, we're taping here in early January, so I will preface this question and these remarks by saying we do not know what is going to happen as of this taping date, but with the regular season behind us and looking forward, to the playoffs, knowing what we know now, I mean, your impressions of this year's team, I guess a lot of people are wondering, how does this coaching job by Belichick stack up against his other great seasons? How do you view it in that regard?
Well, I think the 2001, coming out of nowhere, beating the greatest show on turf was tremendous. I don't know we're ever going to top that.
Right.
But knowing any of the experts, 11-5, and you never saw anything more than that. And 10-6 with all the tough teams we played this year. 14-2, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
But these guys are coachable. They've got athletes. We've got speed. We've got some versatility. Those are some of the things, and certainly Tom Brady as the leadership.
Well, similarly to Kraft, I think Belichick is the kind of guy that gets the players to buy into what it is that he's doing. Obviously, well, of course, he's won 3 Super Bowls, but even before he had won, any, to win that first one, you got to have players that will buy into what the coach is doing. And certainly he obviously has a way, obviously he's been doing it for so long now here, that what he does works. I mean, what do you think about him that it is that gets the players to buy in? Is it just his knowledge of the game, his motivational tactics?
The way he teaches, too. Right. I mean, you're a lineman, and he's going to say, it's 3rd and 2, there's 14 seconds left. What do you do? What are your responsibilities right now if they come out in this formation or that formation? And you're talking to a lineman, is maybe in 7 or 8 plays in a game, but he's, like the Dan Connolly kickoff return. They practiced that kickoff return.
Unbelievable. Yeah, I remember watching it. First of all, when I was done laughing, because it was so hysterical to watch, but it was so awesome at the same time. Then I heard that they had practiced that. I'm thinking, is there anything this guy doesn't know? It's just, he's just got it all covered.
Prior planning prevents pathetic performance. I mean, that's the thing they put in the locker room.
Okay, so that's in the locker room. I was going to say, Bob, is that your quote? I'd be very impressed.
No, that came from Christian Fourier and some of the guys that I've met. That they have those lines and those things that they practice over and over and over.
Now, as a kid, and when you were growing up, even prior to when you had started researching the book, did you ever anticipate a turnaround like we've seen with the franchise?
No.
It's just phenomenal. It's just it's unprecedented, really.
No question about it.
Right. I mean, they had gone the Super Bowl and lost to the Bears, of course, which was just heartbreaking to those fans that were following the team since then. But it's just remarkable to what the Krafts have done and what Belichick's done, and we're living in a pretty good time to be Pats fans, I would say.
No question about it. I mean, we're in the dream session right now. I mean, the '80s we had a couple teams.
Right.
But now the Celtics are winning, the Bruins are close. And the Red Sox have already won it twice. Never thought that was going to happen.
Right, you're here on Wicked Late. It's a great time for everybody.
Exactly right.
Isn't it, Bob? Well, Bob, if you ever want to put together the definitive Wicked Late encyclopedia, just give me a call.
That's it. We'll do some research.
Well, and where can folks learn more about you? I believe you told me earlier you're on Facebook.
Yeah, I'm on the Robert Hyldburg Jr.
Okay.
HYLDBURG.
We'll get that up on the screen. It might even be there now, but we'll get it up there.
Bob the Stat Man on Twitter.
Very good.
I have This Day in Patriots History that talks about different things. And certainly Total Patriots is the name of the book.
Quick question. All-time leader in Patriots touchdowns scored.
That would be Stanley Morgan.
I'm sorry, Bob, that's incorrect. No. Very nice. Well, that was the only question I could come up with on a whim. And, of course, you nailed it, Bob. We can't thank you enough for your time. Thank you very much. Congratulations on the success of the book and continued success with it.
All right, one more thing.
Yes, sir.
I have 37 pages of trivia questions, and most of the answers, I'm going to give you a little hint here, most of the answers, when it's multiple choice, A, B, C, and D, the answers are B, for Brendan and for Bristol.
And Brady.
And Brady and Bob.
There you go, the 4 Bs.
So if you get the book, check out the trivia questions and have fun with it. And have people answer the questions. And even if you don't know anything about the Patriots, you can figure it out.
Based on the letter B.
The answer's B. So I'm setting you up right there.
Well, Bob, thank you very much for your time. And again, continued success with the book.
Awesome. Thank you
Bob Hyldburg, New England Patriots historian extraordinaire. Everybody, we'll be right back.